friends, and welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Pam. My husband Mike's behind the camera tonight. So tonight's star of the show is eggplant. We know Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up, and so our next few videos will be side dishes. Everybody has turkey and ham, but there's always some delicious side dishes that you've loved ever since you're a child. So tonight we're going to be doing an eggplant casserole. These are the ingredients for this recipe. We'll be using onion. We have yellow onion and red onion. We like a blend of both. We have bell pepper, which we do grow in our yard, and that's what we had. We have celery, we have parsley, and we have garlic. We have some nice, delicious butter. We have some ground thyme and some basil, salt and pepper, and these are panko mixed with some Italian breadcrumbs. Now, in addition to the ingredients that we already showed you, these are the meats that we're going to use in our casserole. We have ground meat, and we have sage breakfast sausage. Now, we make this sausage ourselves, and it's delicious, but of course, everybody doesn't, so you can buy this at the store. And then last but not least, our beautiful eggplants. And now I'm going to show you how to prepare the eggplant. We're just going to cut the top off, and just a little bit off that bottom. Then you're going to use a nice sharp vegetable peeler, and it goes pretty quickly. And if a little bit of the skin stays on there, it's not really a big deal. If you want, you can go back and cut it off, but it's not a tragedy. Ooh, it's nice to have a nice sharp peeler. I think this is a pretty new one that we got, which is nice. Sometimes when you get a peeler, if you look at the blade, it's for a lefty or a righty. Well, if you're both right-handed and you use it all the time, then that one blade gets kind of dull. So you either have to use it left hand or get yourself a new peeler. So this is a nice one. Take all this, throw it in the garbage. There's a little spot on the bottom that I kind of missed. All right, now what we're going to do is just cut a little spot off the end, and that way it kind of lays flat, and that way it won't rock all over the place. And you're just going to cut it probably in about inch-size cubes. And we're going to go ahead and cut it like this. And then we can take it and lay it flat. Now, eggplant, some people say after you cut it, you have to soak it in water with salt, and that takes the bitterness out and everything. Well, we've done it, and when you're making a casserole that has so many delicious flavors in it and everything like that, we found that it really doesn't matter. So, and then if you don't soak it in water, it may start to turn a little brown, but you're going to be cooking it down anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So we're not going to go to all that trouble for right now. And I'm going to add it to my other eggplant, and then we'll be back and we'll put all this together and we'll get cooking. Mise en place, which means everything in its place. So now we're going to get ready to start and put everything together to make this delicious eggplant casserole. All right. So our pot, as you can see, is nice and hot. We're going to put our butter in. I love brown butter. It gives everything a nice nutty taste. We're going to go ahead and start adding our veggies, which is our onions. Of course, you know, right away it smells good. We have our yellow onions and we have our red onions. We have our celery. Our bell peppers. It's just pretty just looking at it. Okay, I'm gonna add our garlic. And you know that's going to smell really good. We'll add our parsley. Okay, we're going to let that come together for just a few minutes until everything kind of softens up a bit. And then we will add our meat. Okay, right now we're going to add a little salt and pepper. And what that does, it helps the vegetables to soften up a little bit quicker. So we're going to go ahead and stir that in. And we'll be adding our meat. Okay, the veggies have softened up pretty good. Now we're going to add our meat. We're going to add our sausage and our ground meat. And I'm just going to start breaking it up with the spatula. I'm breaking it up with the spatula because we want it all to cook and incorporate, you know, the vegetables and all the meat, and that way it can all be cooking together at the same time. So it's going to take me a little bit to do it. And once it's done, we're going to have to cook this down for a little bit, and we'll be back with you. The meat and the veggies are sauteed, so now we're going to add our seasoning to it. We'll stir that in just a bit. Then we're going to start adding our eggplant to the pot. Let's do this. And I'm sure it will all fit. Sorry. Oh, it did. Sometimes I don't think it's all going to fit in the pot. But we're going to incorporate, just blend everything together, stir it, get everything nice and mixed together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the top on, and we're going to come back and stir it maybe every 5 minutes. And this eggplant is going to soften up, and it's going to just cook down. So it may take about 20 minutes, but we'll come back about every 5 minutes or so to stir it up, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, our eggplant and our meat has been cooking now for about 20 minutes. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. Wow, that looks good. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. It cooked for about 20 minutes, but as you can see, the eggplant is, you know, it let off a lot of juices, but it looks really good. The eggplant is nice and soft. So now this is the time that everything is done, is to incorporate our breadcrumbs, which actually makes it into a casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle, it's about 1.5 cups. We may need more, probably not. But let's go just fold all that in. And then I'm going to let this simmer just for another few minutes, and then we're going to come back and check it again, because that breadcrumb is going to absorb some of the juices. So I am going to let it sit, just let it saute on just a low heat for about 5 minutes. But I'm going to put the cover on, and then we'll come back and check it out and see if we need to add more. Looks good. It still looks a little loose to me, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more breadcrumbs, about another cup. And I'll fold it in. Tell you what, it sure smells good. I'm going to let it simmer for just another about maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll be back and show you how we put it into a nice casserole dish and prepare it that it's ready to go into your oven. Okay, what I did is I prepared my favorite casserole dish. I sprayed it with a little vegetable oil. Then I took all the delicious eggplant and meat, the whole vegetable mixture, and I poured it in, spread it out. Now what I'm going to do, now we do have the oven preheated to 350, and this is going to go in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes until it starts browning off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle it with some breadcrumbs on the top. Okay. And then I'm just going to dot it with just a little bit of butter all over. And this is going to help the breadcrumbs to brown up just a little bit. And of course, butter is good on everything. Everybody knows that. So we're going to do a little bit of that. And then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes at 350. And when it's done, we're going to take it out and we're going to show you what it looks like. So come back. Okie dokie. The casserole came out of the oven. Of course, it's hot. We did let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes because it was way too hot for me to try. But it does smell good. And this is the taste test like right now. So I'm going to go for it. Can't wait. It's so good. You don't have to just have it for Thanksgiving and Christmas. This casserole is so delicious. You can have it any time of the year. It goes good with roast, pork chops, chicken, baked chicken. Doesn't have to be just for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And another tip too, anytime you find eggplant in your grocery store, you can buy it. And if you're not ready to cook it, you can boil it and you can store it in the freezer so it's ready for you anytime at all. So anyway, this is a dish that I think you and your family are really going to enjoy. I have to take another bite. Sorry. I know my husband over there can't wait to try it too, so we'll do that in a minute. Just want to tell y'all, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. And also remember, we'll be doing a video every week for you all to view. And now that the holidays are coming up, we'll probably do more than one video a week because we have so many delicious recipes for side dishes that we can share with you. And anyway, thank you for joining the Sandra's Kitchen, and God bless.